Rose as Cincinnati claims a 2-0 victory over the San Diego Padres. And Pete Rose is coming out to center stage right now. The man who has broken the all-time hit record in Major League Baseball, shattering Ty Cobb's all-time record with base hit number 4,192 this evening, right about 8:15. And then it was a 2-1 pitch and a slider. Right now, let's go join Marty Brennaman and Ken Wilson at home plate.
We are in the process of getting our cord straightened up. Do what? We just had one come on bed here. What am I going to do? Where am I going to stick that? The headphones are very, very impertinent to what is about to transpire. We have a gentleman waiting to talk to Pete Rose, who is a big fan of the city of Cincinnati, a big fan of the Cincinnati Reds ball club, and one of the biggest fans in this whole wide world of Peter Edward Rose. He is the President of the United States, calling from the White House, Mr. Ronald Reagan. Pete, we're waiting to make connection with the President from the White House. You've done this before, haven't you? Waited, yes. Last time in Philadelphia? We got time. We're not going anywhere.
Go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello.
Pete Rose?
Yes, sir.
Alias Charlie Hustle?
Yes, sir.
This is Ronald Reagan.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Well, listen, I just wanted to say congratulations for breaking one of the most enduring records in sports history. Ty Cobb's career hit record of 4,191, and now, unless you've done something since I've heard the latest, you've made it 4,193. Well, I've been rooting for you, and come to think of it, I used to also root for the fellow who once held that record.
Well, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to call us, and we really appreciate it. And you missed a good ball game tonight.
Well, Steve, your grit and hustle have established you as one of the all-time greats of the game.
Well, thank you very much.
A keen batting eye also has something to do with it.
Well,
someday your new record may be broken, but believe me, your reputation and legacy is secure, and I think it'll be a long time before someone is standing in the spot that you're standing in now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well, I wish you, the Reds, and the people of Cincinnati all the best. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Indeed, we ought to do this more often. You know, those of us who are in the middle of our careers can share tips on how to stay ahead of those younger folks who keep coming up on us from behind.
Well, if you'd have been here tonight, you'd know why we think this is the baseball capital of the world right here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
You've got a few friends there around you, and I won't keep you from them any longer. But again, congratulations, and you've really given a lift to the whole country.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. Good night, and God bless you.
Thank you. The President of the United States, Mr. Ronald Reagan. Something that has become somewhat commonplace, those chats between Pete and the President the last few years. We'll now get on with the rest of our program. Introducing first to make a presentation, Mr. Bud Feely, who we introduced earlier, the sales manager east from the Chevrolet Motor Division. Bud?
Thank you. Well, Pete, in recognition of your historic and remarkable achievement, and on behalf of your many friends and admirers in Chevrolet, I'm delighted to present to you the keys to this Rose Red 1985 Chevrolet Corvette. And you know, it's altogether fitting because Corvette and Pete Rose are two great American institutions. Congratulations, Pete.
Thank you very much, Bud.
sudden, if it's all right with you, instead of calling it Rose Red, let's call it Cincinnati Reds Red, okay? Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Next, we'd like to introduce a lady that's brought a lot of excitement to this city. And I think the last couple of nights has certainly helped to represent at least a seasonal culmination of all that's happened here in 1985. The owner of the Cincinnati Reds, Mrs. Marge Schott. Marge?
You're something else, Rose. Put me through this, I don't believe it. But it's been a great, great moment for all of us, right? Hey! You with something I've been working on. You might not even like it, who knows, but I think your wife will love it. Bring it on in. Want to come see this? Come see this. This isn't the typical. Shotzi jumps out of this. You know, your record is 12 times, and we're going to go another 24, right? But in the meantime, each cup has your different records on with a date, okay? This was hand engraved. Here is the running man. Here's the name, and your name will go on there, and there's the things. Then we lift this off, Pete. And on here is an inscription that says, "Congratulations, Pete Rose." What's that say? On base hit 4192, breaking a record that has stood since 1928 from the Cincinnati Reds, Marge Schott, president. Now the... But the most exciting thing of all is, on this ladle it says, Wolfson licks Shotzi.
I love it. Thank you very much, Marge. And I think it was hard to read because Shotzi was guarding it. He was sitting on it. But I just like to... Is this the time now, Marty? I mean, talk about the people. Okay. Marge, thank you very much. It's beautiful, and I'm sure my wife enjoyed polishing that once a week. That's probably what it's going to take.
Thank you, Marge. We certainly want to recognize and read you a message that we received tonight about Pete. It goes like this: all of baseball salutes Pete Rose for breaking a record experts said would never be broken. His 4,192 hits is a tribute to his great talent and strength, his indomitable spirit, and his iron will. Not only has he reserved a prominent spot in Cooperstown, he has reserved a special place in the heart of every fan alive today and every baseball fan to come. That's a message to Pete from Baseball Commissioner Peter Ueberroth. And now, without further ado, Pete, we would ask you to sit in the middle of the three chairs right here. We would call on Mr. Nuxall and Mr. Morgan. Mr. Nuxall and Mr. Morgan. Joe Morgan, Joe Nuxall, Ken Wilson. And it is time now to hear from the man himself on the Star of the Game show. Joe, it's yours.
You can hit. Do you know that? You can flat hit. Pete, congratulations. You've heard all the folks here this afternoon or this evening, and I'm sure it's worldwide. The congratulations to you, partner. Great job.
Well, thank you, Joe. And I
I'm really not smart enough to come up with the words to show my appreciation for the fans. I was awful lonely when I was out there at first base, and I really couldn't tell you what was going through my mind or going through my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do, and they just made me feel so good. I told Perez, I said when they was trying to get that toilet paper down, I could have jumped up and got it down for him. But I think this is just another night of so many nights here that makes this such a wonderful place to play baseball, and that's, you know, probably the biggest reason why I really wanted to come back here last year when I come back from Montreal, and it's the biggest reason why I didn't want to leave to begin with.
Joe Morgan's with
Joe will verify it, too.
Joe, thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say that I was very fortunate to be able to locker next to Pete Rose 8 out of my 20 years that I played in the major leagues. And I tell you, I learned an awful lot just lockering next to this guy about dedication, determination, and how you're supposed to play this game of baseball. I don't think there's ever been a player that has played the game the way he has, all out every day. I've got a question I'd like to ask Pete, and that is, do you think it's been harder to break this record being both a manager and a player, or would it have been easier just playing the game every day?
Well, I don't think it's really been that difficult being a manager, Joe, simply because of the players I have on my ball club. And tonight was one of the very few games since I got into single digits as far as wanting to break the record that the fans really helped us. I mean, maybe we hadn't had that many home games, but I think indication of that was when Eddie made the great catch. Eddie, he had a great night too. And of course, Tom Browning, the winningest rookie pitcher in the league, did another great job tonight. And of course, my two short men down there in the bullpen, Johnny Franco and Ted Power, did their normal thing tonight. So, you know, this could be a tough job, Joe, in some situations, but I think because of the players that we have here, they make my job sort of easy because they understand what we want done. We just want them to play hard and be on time, and they seem to really respond to what I asked them to do, and I couldn't ask for a better situation, really.
Pete, I think it's very ironic. Your first hit in the major leagues, triple?
What was last hit?
No, I'm not saying your last hit, but your last hit tonight, a triple. Now, that is amazing.
Well, I was just trying to hit the ball hard, and I happened to hit it in the corner. Can I say hello to my mother sitting right up there? Where's she at?
Where's Mom at?
No, not everybody waving is my mother, Joe.
There, in the flag.
And once again, Joe, I really can't explain my feelings at first base. I wish everybody in baseball could go through what I went through tonight, standing out at first base. Tremendous.
I tell you, I watched you, and I think Joe will say the same thing. You fought. Now, I want to tell you something. You, the old warrior you are, you fought tooth and nail not to shed a tear, but you aren't the only one in this ballpark with a tear in your eye, believe me.
Well, I was all right, though. I looked up in the air, and you know, I was doing pretty good until I looked up in the air, and I saw my father and Ty Cobb up there, and they took care of me.
I bet your dad won the argument.
He sure did.
Pete, I'd like to ask a question that's in the minds of probably all the people that are here today and all watching all around the country. Will you play again next year?
Well, to be honest with you, Joe, I'm worried about playing tomorrow night. I think that has a lot to do with these two great human beings standing right here, Bill Burgish and Marge Schott. I still enjoy the game. I still think I can help the ball club, and I still love to participate in front of the fans. So based on how I feel tonight, I think I have to say so, yes.
You know, Joe was talking about the fact that you fought hard not to shed a tear. I've seen you fight hard for the 20 years that I was in the major leagues. I've seen you play with a lot of injuries. I've seen you play when you probably shouldn't have played. I've told you you shouldn't be out there sometimes, and you'd go out and fight hard and play anyway. And tonight it shows the reward for doing all those things. And I just say thanks for letting me be your teammate.
Well, you know, that's the other thing that we haven't even started to talk about, and that is, of course, the teammates that I've had the last 23 years. And the Hall of Fame list goes on and on. Morgans, Robinsons, Benches, Perez's, Fosters, Schmidts, Carltons, Sievers, Carters. I mean, I've had so many great players on the same team that I was on. It was always fun to play the game, and I just think that there's no better way of making a living to come out here and play baseball. And I forgot Nuxall, too. He was a teammate also. And when you have teammates like that who really are dedicated as far as playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, it makes it a lot of fun. And I don't know where the 23 years went, but it seems like yesterday when I was in that batter's box at Crosley Field getting that hit off of Bob Friend. And I hope the next 23 go a lot slower than the last 23. That's all I can say.
Pete, you think you'll get another 4,193 hits in the next 23 years?
Joe, I tell you, we needed everything we could get tonight, and you know, I got the utmost respect for the San Diego Padres, and you know, they're National League champions, and we're trying to get them off our back and get a clean lead for second place. And I just like the way my team responded tonight. I got the utmost respect for that clubhouse full of guys in there, and they do everything we ask them to do, and we really appreciate the people coming out here to see us play. We love it.
I hate to disagree with the president of our country, but I don't think anyone will ever get 4193 again.
Well, Joe, you know me. I'm going to try to add on tomorrow night.
Right.
I mean, hopefully I didn't get my last hit tonight, but I know I'm not going to get much sleep tonight, but we're going to come back out here tomorrow and try to win another game and try to entertain the fans here the best possible way we can, and that's with a win. And what I like about the fans in Cincinnati, once again, you're not just coming to see the Reds play, you're coming to see us win, and that's what we want you to do. Come to see us win. Because we can feel it.
Pete Rose. Pete, there he is, folks. The new all-time hit leader in the history of baseball. Pete Rose. The guys are inside. I understand they got a little bubbly going on in there, Peter.
A little champagne, Joe.
Champagne. Go get it, partner. Congratulations. Pete Rose, our star of the game. There you go. Number one. Outstanding. That's it on the star of the game. Now, on most of these same stations, stay tuned for Marty Brennaman with scores and comments. Tomorrow night.
The greatest hit of all time. Pete Rose picked it up tonight, number 4,192. And our post-game coverage here at Riverfront Stadium will continue. We'll be talking with Marge Schott and more special guests coming right up.